Hey guys, welcome to Magic Macinto here, and today I'll be teaching you 3 ways to force a card to the top of the deck. So let's get rolling. The first way here I'll be teaching you is super simple. This would be the first way I learned to force a card to the top of the deck. Really awesome, really cool. You take any card, it could be any selection, say the 10 of spades. You would put it in the middle of the deck. You would then cut some cards, and they think it's somewhere in the middle of the deck, but in fact, it's on the top of the deck. And so here's how that's done. You would take their card, and while you're putting it in the middle of the deck, you're going to actually, instead of pushing it flat in the deck, you would push it down. So you're creating a little bit of a break there. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab that break with your pinky. So you should have a break right over there, and you can see pretty clearly. There's a pretty wide gap there where you stick your pinky in. But from the front, it looks pretty normal. You can't see anything, especially if you tilt your hand down. Then they really cannot see anything. And then what you would do is you would take from this top packet here, because remember, their card is right there, and they think it's pushed into the deck fair and square, but it isn't. You have your pinky in there. You're then going to take cards from the top packet and place it down. So you could do this 2, 3, 4, even 5 times. But once you reach their card, you're going to place this entire packet on the top. Now, it's super easy, but it's also not that convincing. So I would recommend doing a few false cuts and possibly a riffle shuffle, and make sure their card ends up on the top of the deck. When you do that, you can give it a few false cuts, do whatever you want, but as long as their card stays on top and they don't think it's on top, then you're in good hands. Alright, here's the second way to do this. This one is possibly my favorite way to do it. Here's what it looks like. The spectator would pick a card, the 5 of diamonds, and what I would do is I would put it on the top of the deck right here. And they know it's on the top of the deck, but I would cut some cards, and they can see their card right there. It's right there. It's on the top of this packet, and it's right there. So what you would then do is you would place that packet down, push their card in, take this remaining packet, do a one-handed spread, place their card in the middle of the deck, square up, put this packet in the middle of this packet, push their card in, a little snap and a wave, their card comes back to the top of the deck. Now the way that's done is a bit more advanced. I would say this will take a bunch of practice if you are just a beginner at Magic, but it's super useful to know. It's very, very convincing, and it's a great skill to have. So what you would do is you'd have them select the card. We'll use the 5 of diamonds again. You would swing cut some cards, and that's super simple. You'd have your thumb on the back side, your middle and first finger on the front side, and with your first finger you would pick up about half or a quarter of this packet, and you would then grab it or swivel it to your hand, and you would have it in mechanics grip here. And so their card is right there. Now while you're here, you're going to bring your hand over, and you're going to pull out this bottom card and then push it back in. So without that packet there, it looks like that. And from here, this is they can't see this because this packet is blocking the view. So you can see, you can't see me doing that there. And so you now have what's called a thumb break. You have your thumb separating the bottom card from this top packet. Now, what you will do is a bit of sleight of hand, but it's not very hard. You will bring these 2 packets together with these 3 fingers. You're going to grab that bottom card that you have a thumb break under, and immediately put this packet down and flip this packet over, so it'll look like that. You're taking their card, you're taking this random card, dropping it on top of their selection, and immediately turning this packet down and placing that down. You'll then take their card, which they think is on the top, but it isn't. A random card is on top of their card. You push it in the deck. You do a one-handed spread. If you can't do it, you can just put it in the middle of the deck. You'll square up. It's pretty good to leave. It's a good idea to leave their card out-jogged, just so they can see that it's being pushed into the deck. But it really isn't their card. That was a completely random card. Their card is on the top. Now for this last method, it's similar to the first, but it's very, very convincing also. I would say this is enough. You wouldn't have to do any false shuffles, any false cuts afterward. You might want to, but it's pretty simple, and it's a great way to force a card to the top of the deck. And so this can be used in 2 ways. It can be used to force a card to the bottom or force a card to the top. So what you would do is, we'll use the 5 of diamonds again. It goes into the middle of the deck, and instead of pushing it down, you're going to actually push it up so you can get a pinky break, underneath their card. So instead of having a break over their card, normally this is how you would do it, you will actually have a break underneath their card. And from here, what you would do is you would take this entire packet where you have a pinky break under. You would place it down, and then from this remaining packet, you just place you cut as many times as you want, until you have no cards left, and their card is on the bottom. If you want it on the bottom, fine, you stop there. But if you want it on the top, what you would do is you would do an overhand shuffle, and you would drop some cards, and you keep dropping cards until you have this last remaining card, which is their card, and you place it on the top. So it would look something like this in full speed. And their card goes to it remains on the top. I'll explain that a bit more because some people might not fully understand that. What happens is you're going to release cards with these three fingers. You're going to move them backwards like that, and with your thumb you're also going to pull down cards just like that until you reach that last card. You're going to keep pulling down cards until you reach that last card, and then you're going to place this last card on the top, and that is their card. And that is three ways of how to force a card to the top or the bottom of the deck. I hope you enjoy. Very useful. It can be used once you have it on the top. There's so many things you can do. You can force the card. You can say pick any card, and it's their card. There's just so much to do. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.